I'm going to be down here because I have some slides to show you that I hope you all enjoy. Thank you all so much for coming out. This is a great show of support, and thank you, Sean, for everything that you have done. So many people have been helping out here. Judy Rudin, who's been giving her time. So many people have given their time, and I really hope everybody can give a round of applause to all the people who have volunteered their time. And I also want to thank, for anybody who might be listening, all the bloggers and the people on the internet, because holy moly, have they ever produced a lot of material for us. There's really a lot for us to learn, and my kids, one of whom is here tonight, will be able to tell you that I've been totally OCD on this for quite some time now. I got into this issue on the charitable side. You know, I have always been working with nonprofits for a long time now, and I was invited to go and speak at the symposium that the BC Association for Charitable Gaming had in October, and I have to tell you that shook me up. That really did. To prepare for that, I spent an awful lot of time pouring through financial statements of the BC Lottery Corporation, and looking at the background, looking at all the history, and going out there and finding out just exactly what has gone on really did cause me some trouble. But I want to just take a brief moment before I get into the body of this to talk a little bit about the charities that are affected by gaming policy. There are almost 7,000 BC charities affected by gaming grants in the province. These groups, people tend to think of this as an arts issue because the arts have been so badly cut, but I just want to bring to your attention to who else has been affected. The Heart and Stroke Foundation, the Deaf Children's Society, these are just examples. The Surrey Hospice Society, North Shore Rescue Team, the Horsefly Volunteer Fire Department, the Pacific Postpartum Support Society, the Crisis Intervention and Suicide Prevention Center, the Charlie Lake PAC, the Campbell River Minor Hockey, the Cerebral Palsy Association, and thousands more community causes across BC. And these people are out 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, helping the poor, the weak, the vulnerable, the elderly, the disabled, the bullied child, the sports teams, the arts. They lift our hearts. The refugees, immigrants, our environment, they are there for us. They man crisis lines, deliver meals on wheels, search for the lost in our mountains, forests, and rivers, fill our lives with meaning and poetry. We could not live without them. We could not ever afford to buy what they give us for free. And we have made a terrible mistake in mistaking their value for their price. But I want to give you some of their voices. These are some comments from the that appeared on the website of the BC Association for Charitable Gaming, and I just want people to hear these voices because it speaks to where we have come and who we're putting first in our society. We are a drop-in senior center. Our members need a place to go that gets them away from the lonely existence. Our Paradise Center is a destination that doesn't cost much to join and has lots of activities. It's not right that our grants are taken away, leaving lonely, vulnerable seniors with nothing to do. I'm a brain injury survivor, and I need the support of the South Okanagan Snoqualmie Brain Injury Society. That society has kept me alive. My nephew has a fatal neuromuscular disease, and he participates in the riding programs offered by the North Fraser Therapeutic Riding Association, which adds to the quality of his life considerably. There are thousands of lives like these, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of them affected by what we do. Now, I'm not here to talk about charity and gaming. But I think we as a culture, as a community, should be thinking very much about what our priorities are. And I just want to, gambling was legalized in this country to benefit these organizations. And we have turned our backs on them. And we've turned our backs on them for money, for ourselves, so our taxes can be lower. So I just want to show you, give you a little bit of a sense. Sean, I just want to get into this. Somehow this program has, what's happened here? How does this disappear? Please excuse me for a second. Oh, here we are. Okay, so we're here to talk about the Edgewater application. I just want you to see this chart. This shows you what has happened. Now, just to back up for just two minutes here. I don't know how many of you heard about the workers that came and begged for the casino for their jobs last night at the public hearing. Well, this is, at the public information session. This is what was asked of the charities over and over and over again across this province. Whenever gambling has expanded across the province, it does that. That takes place in a municipal hearing for slot machine or gaming table licenses. And whenever the applicant wants that, they always roll out the wheelchairs and they ask the elderly and they ask the hospice society and they ask all these organizations to come out and beg municipal councils to grant those licenses so that they can get that money. And I just want you to look at the screen because this shows you where that money has gone. The purple column is what's happened, what the charities have got out of the increased gaming funds from the slot machines and the gaming table licenses. And the blue column is what BC Lottery Corporation and the provincial government has got. We are now below 1995 levels in our support for charities out of gaming money, and almost all, in fact, I will say this because I've done the math on this, not one red cent of the increased money out of gaming has gone to charities. I'm talking about the increase now. What the slot machines and the gaming table licenses, not one red cent. We are below 1995 levels. Workers out begging for expansion for their jobs. I kind of feel like, the cast-off wife looking at the new girlfriend. This is the new one. And the promises are the same. But us girls, we know. We know what the reality will be. In Alberta, just to give you an idea, it's a guaranteed 24% of gaming revenue. And this just to show you, just to give you a little bit of a sense. This is a chart of the purple column here is capital expenditures. You've heard about Pete McMartin's column talking about the $400 million that has gone to, mysteriously gone into the pockets of casino developers. So that shows, in Alberta, that purple column, it's about 1/3. Capital expenditures in Alberta on gaming are much, much lower than they are in BC. But look at the blue column. That's the amount that charities get. So charities in Alberta get $323 million annually, or roughly. They get 24% of gaming. We are down at we were 112.5 million last year, we'll go to 120, and we are still at that below 1995 levels. Just so that you can get a picture. And get my notes here. So that is just to give you an idea of where we are. And the Pete McMartin story is only part of the picture. I don't understand exactly what our capital spending in the BC Lottery Corporation is going for, but we are projected to spend $346 million over the next 3 years in capital spending from the BC Lottery Corporation.